A fresh lawsuit has just surfaced, and once again, Jay-Z finds himself thrust into the public eye, largely due to his association with Diddy. Meanwhile, 50 Cent seems determined to expose every single person linked to Diddy, and it's clear we need to unpack all of it. To make matters worse, the legal trouble surrounding Diddy has intensified so significantly that his legal team is now reportedly trying to push his trial back by several years. According to a new indictment, the number of individuals allegedly abused by Diddy reportedly stretches into the hundreds. That staggering figure only underscores the reality that we may have only scratched the surface of the entire situation. This revelation couldn't have arrived at a more inconvenient time for Diddy, particularly since Cassie has now declared her intention to testify at his upcoming trial. And anyone familiar with her past knows that Cassie has a lot to reveal. Connections and silence among celebrities. Let's break down the web of celebrities connected to Diddy. One of the clearest rifts lies between 50 Cent and Diddy, who haven't been on good terms, especially on the business front, for quite a while. 50 Cent once explained why he chose not to associate with Diddy outside of business dealings. He described feeling uneasy about Diddy's behavior, particularly when Diddy allegedly made comments like, "I'll take you shopping," which 50 felt were more suitable in a romantic context, directed at a woman. 50 Cent noted that this behavior made him uncomfortable and eventually caused him to distance himself. At the time, these oddities may have been overlooked due to Diddy's public relationships and persona. But now, it's becoming clear that the signs were always there, just hidden in plain sight. The way people respond to these situations also reveals a lot. For instance, Meek Mill was reportedly puzzled about how his name got dragged into the situation, and even claimed to have spent over $100,000 just trying to understand it. He hasn't said much beyond that. Compare that with French Montana, who was present during the same situations, but hasn't made a peep. 50 Cent's unapologetic crusade. Interestingly, 50 Cent has arguably become Diddy's biggest threat. His relentless exposure of Diddy's alleged actions and the people associated with him has only worsened Diddy's public image. During a podcast, 50 pointed out how Meek Mill once wore matching outfits with Diddy at a party, a decision 50 Cent interpreted as Meek trying to leverage Diddy's influence for personal gain. 50 recounted how Diddy had first approached him with the same shopping offer, which he promptly declined. However, Meek seemed to accept, seeing it as a way to climb the industry ladder. Now, Meek finds himself in the hot seat, metaphorically and maybe even legally, for those associations. 50 didn't hold back in describing the behavior he witnessed. He felt Diddy was overt and aggressive, saying things like, "Let me take you shopping, get you flashy," in a tone that made 50 instantly wary. He decided to walk away from the situation entirely, realizing that if he didn't, things could spiral. And despite being painted as a crazy hater for calling out these patterns for years, 50 Cent is now being vindicated as more people come forward. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and the business of influence. Jay-Z isn't escaping unscathed either. His long-standing friendship with Diddy, along with his marriage to Beyonce, is being scrutinized in a new light. According to 50 Cent and others close to the situation, the marriage between Jay-Z and Beyonce is seen less as a romantic union and more as a strategic business partnership. Their joint appearances, projects, and public unity form what some are calling the perfect image of success in hip-hop. But behind the scenes, critics suggest this image may be largely manufactured. When Jay-Z married Beyonce, his accolades surged. He went from having a single Grammy to racking up nearly 20 since the marriage. Some are speculating that this sudden wave of recognition came not solely from musical achievement, but from strategic alignment. Even their children have received awards despite not having released music of their own. This leads many to believe that being part of this power couple provides access and visibility that others can't match. And in the eyes of 50 Cent, this is just one more example of how interconnected and protected certain individuals in the industry truly are. 50 Cent's Netflix docuseries and continued revelations. 50 Cent has always positioned himself as a truth-teller in an industry full of silence, and now he's turning his efforts into a documentary. It's been confirmed that he's producing a docuseries on Netflix, aimed at exposing the darker side of the entertainment world and the personalities who rule it behind the scenes. He's not alone. Many who have spoken out against the industry have faced media backlash. A prime example is former Disney actor Orlando Brown, who publicly claimed disturbing experiences with Diddy. At the time, his statements were brushed off as insanity. But in hindsight, people are beginning to reevaluate what he said. Orlando once claimed that Diddy would always be interested in new booty in the building, warning people not to bring their girlfriends to his parties. While shocking at the time, these allegations are now being revisited in the context of everything we're learning. A growing list of silent associates. The list of celebrities who used to be seen frequently with Diddy and are now trying to act like they never knew him continues to grow. Back in 2010, Diddy was surrounded by industry giants like Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and Usher, who were all part of his inner circle. Today, those same people are noticeably quiet. In May 2018, a bizarre and disturbing incident occurred at Trump's National Doral Golf Course in Miami, where a man named Jonathan Audi, who claimed to be Diddy's sex slave, was involved in a shooting. He alleged he was under Diddy's control, and the event forced the golf course to shut down temporarily. These connections paint a grim picture of what may have been going on behind closed doors. Meanwhile, figures like DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and even Kevin Hart are now being called into question due to their past closeness with Diddy. The allegations, the silence, and the shifting alliances suggest that this is just the beginning of a long unfolding industry reckoning. There's another explosive lawsuit that has just surfaced, thrusting Jay-Z back into the public eye due to his association with Diddy. Meanwhile, 50 Cent continues his crusade to expose everyone linked to Diddy, and things have now taken an even darker turn. According to fresh indictments, Diddy's legal troubles have deepened to the point where his legal team is allegedly seeking to delay his trial for several years. Reports claim that the number of individuals who suffered abuse at the hands of Diddy could be in the hundreds, highlighting that we may only be scratching the surface of something much more sinister. This shocking update couldn't have come at a worse time for Diddy, especially since Cassie has just made it public that she plans to testify in the upcoming trial. Given how much Cassie knows and has endured, her testimony could be devastating. It's time to examine the high-profile names connected to Diddy and unravel what really went on. 50 Cent has long distanced himself from Diddy, stating that he never felt comfortable around him. He even described moments where Diddy's behavior became downright bizarre, like offering to take him shopping in a way that felt more flirtatious than friendly. 50 implied that such advances were inappropriate, stating it felt like something a man would say to a woman he's interested in. For 50, it became clear that a lot of suspicious and unsettling things were happening out in the open, but were overlooked due to Diddy's image and his relationships with women. The reactions of other celebrities when questioned about Diddy have also raised eyebrows. For example, when Meek Mill found his name being dragged into this mess, he complained about spending large sums just to figure out why he was implicated, even though he never clarified his full involvement. Interestingly, he never defended himself thoroughly, especially compared to others like French Montana, who was also present during controversial incidents, but chose to stay silent. 50 Cent has played a pivotal role in exposing what he calls the darker corners of Diddy's empire. He even shared a story on a podcast about how Meek Mill once showed up to an event wearing a matching outfit with Diddy, insinuating a closeness that went beyond just music collaborations. 50 stated that he declined Diddy's invitations to hang out or go shopping because he sensed ulterior motives, whereas Meek, eager to elevate his status, accepted. There was also a strange encounter involving Diddy offering lavish gifts and making comments like, "Let me take you shopping," which came off as more of a romantic gesture than a friendly one. Over time, the bizarre behavior started aligning with the disturbing allegations now coming to light. As 50 put it, the behavior wasn't hidden behind closed doors. It was always out in the open, but people didn't want to believe it. While others are scrambling to deny their involvement or downplay past interactions, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are also being called out. Their close relationship with Diddy has led critics to argue that they represent the corrupted elite of the music industry. According to some sources, their marriage itself is more of a corporate merger than a genuine romantic relationship. In fact, there's speculation that Jay-Z's meteoric rise in the industry, marked by an avalanche of awards and accolades, only truly began after his union with Beyoncé. Before marrying her, he had only one Grammy. Post-marriage, the awards started piling up. Critics suggest that this was no coincidence but a strategic alignment that transformed Jay-Z from a street rapper into a polished business mogul and family man. The transformation wasn't just about image. Some claim that even their children have been showered with accolades, despite being too young to perform. According to 50 Cent and others, this highlights how deep and powerful the network surrounding Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé truly is. But 50 Cent isn't just dropping hints. He's planning to blow the lid off the entire situation with a documentary he's producing for Netflix. His project aims to shine a light on Diddy's inner circle and the deeply troubling behaviors that many others have refused to speak about. Interestingly, when people in Hollywood try to speak out against this toxic system, they're often labeled as insane. One such figure is Orlando Brown, a former Disney actor who once made seemingly outrageous claims about Diddy. At the time, people dismissed him as mentally unwell. Now, however, many are re-evaluating his statements in light of the new allegations. Among the most disturbing recent developments is a civil suit that has now been filed against not just Diddy, but also Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James. The suit, filed by Joseph Manzaro, alleges that he was drugged, kidnapped, and sexually assaulted during a party organized by Diddy in 2015. Manzaro claims he was forcibly brought to an estate through a secret passage linked to the Estefan family's Miami property. Upon awakening, Manzaro says he found himself at a large, extravagant gathering, believed to be a birthday celebration for Diddy's son, Christian Combs. There, Manzaro was allegedly humiliated while wearing a penis mask and was paraded in front of guests including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Gloria Estefan, and LeBron James. According to the lawsuit, Beyoncé asked aloud why a half-naked man in a mask was standing in front of her. Despite naming several prominent individuals as witnesses, Manzaro has chosen to sue only Diddy and key enablers such as Eric Macias, Brendan Paul, allegedly a drug mule for Diddy, as well as Emilio Estefan and Adria English, another woman who has filed her own suit, claiming she too was trafficked by Diddy. As this legal battle unfolds, speculation grows about whether these celebrity witnesses will cooperate or fight any subpoenas with their full legal might. The wider implications of this case could be massive. And it's not just musicians being implicated. Allegations are surfacing about actors like Will Smith and Jennifer Lopez, with whispers that they too were once close to Diddy and perhaps involved in his infamous parties. Even late-night host Jimmy Kimmel has hinted at this dynamic. Recently, Will Smith broke his silence, denying any connection to the more scandalous elements of Diddy's lifestyle. In a video, he insisted he had no ties to the freak-off events, making a point to say, "I don't even like baby oil," clearly mocking the rumors. In a resurfaced interview, it was mentioned that Will Smith once allegedly tried to approach Jennifer Lopez and her then-partner for a threesome, a story that sounds outrageous, yet has resurfaced amid the current storm of allegations. All the while, 50 Cent remains the only major figure openly calling out the alleged misconduct in the industry. He claims that many celebrities remain silent because they too were complicit or present at these events. According to 50, he has nothing to hide and never attended those parties because he simply isn't into that kind of lifestyle. He insists his past is clean and mocks those who drug others, saying he once took a pill himself to improve his own performance. not to manipulate someone else. His blunt honesty and refusal to play by the industry's rules make him a dangerous figure to those trying to cover up the truth. As 50 Cent's documentary looms, there's a growing sense that more dark secrets will be revealed, and more powerful figures will be named. Some individuals claim that many celebrities attended questionable gatherings yet remained silent. When asked why he never took part in such events, one individual made it clear that his values simply didn't align. "I'm not into that wild stuff. All that bizarre behavior just isn't for me," he stated plainly. "Maybe I'm just more down-to-earth or traditional." Back in the 1990s, Keffi D alleged he was financially incentivized to murder Tupac Shakur, a shocking statement amid growing public concern. Recently, a docuseries produced by TMZ and aired on Tubi has emerged, suggesting this could be the downfall of Sean "Diddy" Combs. One of the earliest voices to publicly confront Hollywood's dark underbelly has been none other than 50 Cent. He's often been labeled as someone draining the swamp in entertainment circles. "I don't rely on any support network or peer group in the industry. I've had to operate independently from the very beginning," he explained. "I don't owe anyone allegiance to act a certain way." Another high-profile name reportedly associated with these secretive gatherings is Leonardo DiCaprio. According to sources, he has been a regular at what's known as Diddy's freak-off parties, something not widely publicized yet. In fact, during a casual exchange, DiCaprio was referenced as a top invitee to one of Diddy's exclusive white parties. All of this intensifies the curiosity surrounding 50 Cent's upcoming documentary titled "Did He Do It?", announced in December 2023. Slated for release in the coming months, the docuseries promises to expose not just Diddy, but also those closely tied to him. According to 50 Cent, the series isn't focused on current gossip, but rather explores the structural workings of what he refers to as Diddy's criminal network. When asked why he believes the allegations against Diddy hold water despite not attending the parties himself, 50 replied, "I was as surprised by the specifics as anyone. I never encouraged these claims. I just watched them unfold in the media like the rest of the world. But even back then, I felt uneasy when he'd invite me to these projects to come party. That alone was enough of a red flag for me." More recently, explosive claims have surfaced, including allegations from 3 different men who say they were drugged by Diddy. "It's been decades," 50 Cent noted. "And when people suddenly remember such traumatic things after 20 years, it's deeply troubling." As the lawsuits pile up, attention has turned to Jay-Z, whose silence has been deafening. "At first I wondered why Jay-Z wasn't saying anything while all this was unfolding," 50 Cent admitted. "But now it's clear. His legal team knew he was being dragged into it too. I hope he can clear his name, especially with a family to protect. These accusations are wild." There's speculation that what started as civil suits may evolve into criminal proceedings. 50 Cent added, "It's possible lobbyists and insiders pulled strings to shield Diddy, but that may not hold up." On whether his public criticism of Diddy stemmed from business rivalry, particularly in the liquor industry, 50 confessed, "Yeah, that played a role. We were competitors. Diddy had a head start with C-Rock, integrating it into pop culture, connecting with celebrities. But even beyond that, the shady stuff he did behind the scenes was infuriating. Names like Usher, Odell Beckham Jr., Terrence Howard, and Justin Bieber have all been associated, directly or indirectly, with these controversies. Former child actor Orlando Brown, often dismissed by the industry, has also spoken up, accusing many in entertainment of hiding their true identities. He coined a term for it, "gay for pay," insisting some male celebrities trade masculinity for fame. Terrence Howard once hinted at a similar notion, suggesting many sacrificed their integrity for success, only to be haunted by it later. They can't unsee or undo what happened, someone noted. No matter how intoxicated they were, they surrendered a part of themselves, and now they're broken. The consequences are visible. Many suffer from substance abuse, psychological trauma, and a loss of identity. These guys didn't just lose their manhood, they lost their soul, someone remarked. The same goes for the women in the industry who trade intimacy for roles. They get the fame, the fortune, but not the fulfillment, not the dream. What does it truly mean to win every prestigious award, like a Nobel Prize, if achieving it means sacrificing your moral compass along the way? That's the dilemma many face, attaining success by compromising integrity just to maintain a status quo that benefits the elite. And when you trade your soul for a seat at the table, was it really worth it? Recently, a newly amended civil complaint was filed against Diddy and several co-defendants, bringing more disturbing claims into the spotlight. The filing named both Drusky and Odell Beckham Jr. as individuals allegedly involved in a disturbing incident. According to the lawsuit, both men were participants in the sexual assault of a woman whom Diddy allegedly targeted for revenge. During a candid exchange, someone was asked whether they had ever attended one of Diddy's infamous parties. Caught off guard, they responded with humor. "Where did that even come from? That train must have already left the station. I definitely wasn't at that platform." They insisted they had no part in it, even joking about how close they might have been geographically, but never actually attended. The allegations against Drusky were swiftly denied by the entertainer himself. In a public post on X, formerly Twitter, he declared, "This claim is a completely fabricated lie. In 2018, I wasn't even in the spotlight. I was broke, living at home with my mother, with zero ties to the entertainment business. Including my name in this mess is absurd. My heart goes out to true victims of abuse, but I trust that the facts will prove this narrative false and expose those who are trying to manipulate the legal system for personal gain." Meanwhile, in preparation for Diddy's upcoming trial, prosecutors have called on Dr. Dawn Hughes as an expert witness. She is recognized as a leading clinical and forensic psychologist with deep expertise in interpersonal violence, trauma, and sexual abuse. In a court exhibit titled, "Disclosure as to Expert Witness Dawn M. Hughes, Ph.D." her role in the trial is outlined. Dr. Hughes is expected to testify on the psychological impact of sexual abuse, the concept of coercive control, victims' coping mechanisms, and reasons for delayed reporting or fragmented memories. According to legal filings, she'll discuss how abusive behaviors are often masked by emotional manipulation and physical coercion used to dominate victims across various types of relationships. Additionally, prosecutors have introduced new evidence that appears connected to the ongoing civil litigation against Diddy. Though many of the court documents remain redacted, legal analysts believe they may reference alleged misconduct involving minors, further demonstrating what prosecutors believe is a pattern of abuse. More than 30 lawsuits have now been filed against Diddy, with one explosive piece of footage already released: a video of him physically assaulting Cassie. With allegations now implicating dozens of unnamed collaborators worldwide, the complexity of the case is increasing. Some of the key witnesses tied to these claims have died, making it harder to mount a robust defense. To complicate matters further, the defense team isn't even allowed to share the identities of some alleged victims, listed in a disclosure letter, with Mr. Combs until April 18th. This restriction severely limits the time available to investigate claims and prepare a defense. Legal experts warn that admitting this new evidence may lead to an extension of the trial, which was originally scheduled to last just 3 weeks. Now it could span months, if not years, requiring several smaller proceedings to evaluate individual allegations. If prosecutors are allowed to present uncharged conduct as part of the evidence, the defense could face a massive uphill battle. Critics argue that Diddy has every right to defend himself, But how can that happen fairly with so little time and so much redacted information? One of the key figures expected to testify is Cassie, whose civil lawsuit appears to have triggered this criminal investigation. She allegedly witnessed the inner workings of Diddy's organization firsthand, and her testimony could deal a major blow. According to former security insider Gene Deal, the fallout from Cassie's claims may have been the final straw that launched the criminal case. Unlike other accusers who remain anonymous, often listed as Jane Doe or John Doe, Cassie is reportedly going to testify using her real name. That could dramatically impact the case's visibility, as Cassie is a well-known public figure. Her celebrity status gives weight to her accusations, especially among millennials who remember her music career. Public interest in the trial skyrocketed after video footage surfaced via CNN, showing Diddy attacking Cassie in a hotel. That incident turned private allegations into a public firestorm. And now that Cassie is reportedly ready to face Diddy in court and recount her experiences directly, the implications are enormous. 50 Cent, as always, remains unafraid to confront the establishment. His upcoming docuseries, Did He Do It?, is expected to pull no punches. Once it's released, many believe it will shatter long-held illusions about the entertainment industry's biggest players. This story is far from over. As more layers unravel, the scandal may prove to be one of the most significant celebrity legal battles in recent history. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next major development in this unfolding saga.